And that's kind of crazy because I started to post on these platforms. The response to my music was probably the highest I've ever had. Now I'm focusing the most on posting on these two platforms. Why nobody with our beats? YouTube, it's me, I'm back. I hope you guys are doing all good. Today I want to talk about something that I've been struggling with for quite some time now. I'm sure some of you guys who are making the beats have had the same struggles, or maybe still have the same struggle, and that's why you're watching this video right now. We are all gathered here today to understand why nobody with our beats. So let's just imagine for a second you are already posting your beats on social media, on YouTube, on BeatStars, everywhere you possibly can, and maybe you even get some questions or some comments about your beats, but it still feels like your beats are not really taking off, nothing significant is really happening. That might be because you are simply doing these things all wrong. Also, before we are moving forward, I just want to mention that everything I'm saying here comes from my personal experience, it comes from my own research. Everything I'm saying here is subjective, okay? So if you do not agree with me, that's totally fine. I'm here with only one purpose, is to help and share my personal experience, and hopefully you guys can take away something useful from this video. First things first, let's imagine that you already have a collection of fire beats. That's out of the way, the music is there, everything is ready. Now you are just looking for an opportunity to market yourself the most effective way as an artist, as a producer, as a beat maker. So the very first thing I would suggest you to do is to figure out your target audience. And the way you can do that is by analyzing your own product, your own offer, right? Think about what kind of beats do I make? Who are they for? Think about Lamborghini. They do not target like the middle class older people. They know Lamborghinis are not for them, right? So they are targeting a specific group of people to whom the Lamborghini would be appealing to. You see what I mean? So to keep it simple, what I'm trying to say is not to send a drill beat to an R&B artist, and not to send a slow ass R&B joints to a EDM DJ. He's not gonna play it at the festival. It's extremely important to understand these things. Understanding your target audience gonna help you tremendously to avoid long unnecessary conversations, disappointment. It's a time saver overall. So what I would suggest you guys to do is to analyze your product, analyze your offer, find your target audience, and work and focus specifically on this group of people. So the second thing I want to talk about is the global market. It's the market itself. Think about it. We as a producers, beat makers, DJs, doesn't matter. We are basically operating as any other business out there. We are providing the service, right? Imagine if you're trying to enter the market to sell a new smartphone. It's not that easy considering that you have Apple around, you have Samsung around. So maybe that's not what you want to do necessarily right now. You see what I mean? Analyzing the market this way can actually be very useful to avoid the competition, to find these small pockets where you can exist with less competition, or maybe to understand what our competitors doing, and maybe you can do something differently to bring more value. And I don't want to sound like a university professor or like a high school teacher. I'm just using this analogy to kind of put my point into perspective so you guys could understand me better. I hope that makes sense. And since we are talking about the competition, I would like to talk about type beats a little bit, because for me, I don't see any single benefit to actually make type beats and post them on YouTube, besides the fact if you are actually trying to learn something and you're trying to replicate someone's sound to understand how it works. That's all cool. I've done this myself. I'm still doing this myself up until this day, and that's why I don't see a real reason for producers to do that, because I simply believe that it's harder to get a placement or a production credit based off replicated sound. Just think about it. You are investing time, you are producing a beat, and you are posting a beat that sounds like a beat from another producer. In fact, this beat sounds like a beat from a producer who is already established, already popular, already successful. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to sound like a hater or anything like that. That's not my point. If you do type beats and you had certain amount of exposure or certain amount of success, that's great. I'm happy for you. Do you keep doing what you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, fair enough.
I'm just not necessarily sharing this type of vision or this type of approach when it comes to beat making. That's all. And that's why I want to talk about few other ways for you guys to promote your beats online without necessarily posting them on YouTube and call them type beats. And here is a few ways that you can do so. So let's start with the basics, right? For me, the packaging is very important. What I mean by that is that I want you guys to make sure that all of your beats are properly stored in one place. Let's say a beat store or a website or a Dropbox link. It's not so important where you do that. It's more important that you have a very clean presentation method in case if customers customer is ready to go check it out. Well presented products are always more appealing to the customer, and also it generates a certain level of respect and professionality towards the seller. So now, when you've done everything we talked about before, you've analyzed the market, you found your target audience, your store looks nice and clean, all the beats are there, you are now at the point where you can actually start to promote your beats and to reach out to people. And one of my favorite ways to do so is to build real organic relationship with the people. What I kind of like to do is to browse social media. I'm talking about Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and just kind of go through and see if I can stumble upon some cool new artists that are upcoming and they fit my vibe, they fit what I'm making. I'm usually targeting somebody with the less than 50k followers. I'm not going above, because they are kind of tending not to respond so often if they're super popular on social media, you see what I mean? So most likely I would just give them a follow. I would go check out their Instagram page just to see if the vibes are matching, you know, if we can complement each other, me as a producer and the person, whoever it is, as an artist. And then I would just reach out. I would probably send a message saying something like, hey man, I checked out your music, I really like this and this specific clip, maybe because I'm making something very similar, so if you're interested I could send like a pack of beats for you to check out, and then let me know what you think. You could also maybe reply a few of their stories in the beginning. If they're posting some music, you can go something like, hey man, I'm sure you would kill few of my beats because I feel like your voice would sit so well on my beats, you know, or something like that, just to kind of show the person that you're here and you're into music as well and you're ready to work and you're reaching out, just to kind of put it out there and then just wait and see what's gonna happen, you know. So obviously direct messages is a great way to reach out to people. Just make sure you're organic, don't be too spammy. Also make sure that the music you're sending is matching the vibe of the artist you're trying to reach out to. Send the message out and see for yourself what's gonna happen, you never know. So another thing you can do, which is a bit similar to the first thing we just talked about, but a bit different at the same time, is I also call it like a 5-beat rule. So what you would do, or what I would usually do, is that I would find an artist that I really like, I would listen to his music, kind of get inspired, and then I would make 5 beats specifically in the style of this artist. And then I would do the same thing over again. I would DM him. Also in this case, maybe I would check out his bio and I would take like his manager email or something like that. And I would be, again, very organic. Hey man, I've been listening to loads of your music lately and I got really inspired, and that's why I made 5 beats specifically for you. Here is the link if you want to check them out, and let me know if you feel like doing something with them or not. That's okay as well, you know, just a very basic message. Another way to expose your music to a way bigger audience is to have a YouTube channel. I've literally started my YouTube channel with the only purpose in my head. It was to expose my beats to a wider audience. So every time I make video, I have my beats playing in the background. Overall, I'm just showcasing things, my production skills. I do the tutorials, I do music reactions. I'm just out there grinding, you know, so that more people see me, the more chances I have that they will check out my music. So YouTube channel is a very powerful and underrated tool among the producers when it comes to promoting your beats. So moving on, we have a quick one, which is collaborations. Reach out to people, reach out to producers. I'm not even talking about rappers or something. Reach out to other producers, reach out to anybody. Try to work on your local scene, go to a parties, go to a beat battles, do whatever. Watch Kenny beat battles, try to participate. Anything where you can get a little bit of exposure works really well to kind of highlight your skills and your music. Moving on, I want to talk about Instagram Reels and I want to talk about TikTok. And that's kind of crazy because I started to post on Instagram Reels and on TikTok like a month ago. I'm still kind of learning about it, but ever since I've started to post on these platforms, the response to my music was probably the highest I've ever had. And literally right now I'm focusing the most on posting on these two platforms. For example, the thing that I do is I kind of post these top 5 or top 10 of the beats that I've produced in the last 2 months or the last month together, or then I'm just posting like the top 10 beats that I like overall, you know, kind of reacting to them and stuff like that. And to be honest with you guys, I feel like these are the most important things that I'm doing to promote my beats these days. It's pretty much TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube, collaborations, and DMs, you know, that's pretty much what I do. There is a bunch of other things that you could do, like posting your beats on Spotify. You can create like a mixtapes or a beat tapes. That's also kind of good. I don't do it yet, but I'm kind of starting to think that maybe I should do that as well. We'll see. I don't know about that. Also, I would highly suggest not to post a single beat on YouTube, but maybe make a 10 beats and then post just the snippets of each each beat because people just don't go and check every beat separately, you know. I don't feel like these days they do that because the attention span is so short. And the last but definitely not the least tool that you could use to promote your beats is a Discord. I'm completely new to that, so I'm learning about Discord still, but I've heard people getting tons of exposure from Discord, so I can kind of feel that you can grow and build off the Discord really quickly, so I really want to dig into that and see what's up. So with all that being said, that's pretty much it, people. These are all of the tools that I know that are in my disposal right now in order to promote my beats, and hopefully you got some use out of this video. Let me know in the comment section if you have any other ideas, or maybe you know some other tools to promote your beats. I would love to read about that. Maybe you would like to work on a project together, or maybe you simply have some questions. Whatever it is, feel free to reach out. I'll be checking my inbox daily. For the rest, that's about it. My name is Almost Famous. Thank you for coming through. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Yo, hold on for a second. Do me one favor, subscribe to my channel.